Good morning, guys. I wish I could say it was a good morning. Thought I'd give you an update on what's going on. As you can see, I have Angel here. I found out yesterday by calling Doc Poles she's 13 and a half years old. Art had taken her in 2012. At that time she was 2.5 years old. But I have had sad news, guys. Art did not make it. He had this stroke on Friday and transferred him to Grand Rapids Hospital. He was able to communicate with his son a little bit because the son told me that he told him, "Your hands are cold." And obviously we would take that as a good sign. He was able to communicate, where Friday he was completely out of it, but then it just went downhill from there. And yesterday morning his son called me and said his breathing had become erratic and they had to make end-of-life decisions. And look at where she's going too. Right to her own door. She didn't do that yesterday though, but she knows. Yesterday when I got home from the doctors, because Todd had called me on while I was driving back from the doctors and told me that they made the end-of-life decision. They were just going to keep him comfortable. When I got home, she was crying and crying and crying. So I think, I'm very sure she knows. She knows where home was for sure, but now we're going to be her caretakers and not giving her to his daughter, that's for sure. She thinks she's a farmer, and she's not. She told us when we told her that Angel was hurting and had arthritis, and she's like, "No, she doesn't." Well, she hasn't even seen this dog for over a year. How would she know that, right? So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm freaking out a little bit about the property. His son knows that this place is a tear down. He actually told me that yesterday. So if we volunteer to tear this place down, we absorb the cost. Will he sell us the land for dirt cheap? Because to build down here on the river, you got to have special permits. You have to have what I was told, $10,000 minimum septic system. It has to be totally enclosed. Your well system has to be a deep well. You have to build up on blocks. There's just so many restrictions that makes it financially not really worth it to try to build here. So I will be back with more. I got to get this dog back on the right track. Yesterday she didn't do that. She followed me in perfect lap around the house. So that's that with Art, and it sucks I haven't heard from his son this morning. I don't know if they're going to have a funeral up here or what, but looks like she's going to head right back to the house again. She's deaf pretty much too and can't see very well, but look at a dog's instinct, man. That's crazy. Crazy amazing. She's going right back to the side door again. I'll let her go and you guys can see what she does when she wants in. I'm guessing, based on how she's acted for us, she's going to let us know she wants in. So that's that update, guys. And I've never talked about this on a video. I might have mentioned it before, but very few will really know because it was mentioned in passing. But March 6th, yesterday, the day Art died, is my birthday. 35 years ago, on March 6th, my dad died. Isn't that just bizarre? That's all I can call it, because Art and my dad were really good friends at one time. They used to drink beer together. My dad hardly ever drank, only like the occasion when he would sit out here by the bonfire with Art would he have a couple beers. So it's just, my birthday sucked. 10 years ago on March 4th or 3rd, I can't remember, it popped up in my memories, and it was in my head in my memories too, but my little dog disappeared that I had for 16 years, and we found him. I think I talked about this a few days. Found him after we realized he fell in a river. We found him right down there on a sandbar 3 days later, and I ended up burying my dog on my birthday. So my birthday's never going to mean anything to me. It's only going to be a date where my age changes, and that's all I can say about my birthday. It just sucks. And Mr. Onyx is on a roller coaster ride. Good days, bad days. I have to take him back to Poles on Thursday, but he's crashed a couple times, and we know it was too much insulin because he got really lethargic. And then we talked to Doc Pole himself twice. It was so amazing to call the emergency number. Usually you have to leave a message and someone will call you back. Well, when Tracy called on Sunday, he answered, and she also called on Saturday just before they closed. Yeah, before the vet closed on Saturday, he answered, so he's very aware, and he knew what Onyx was going through because he stayed the night there. So anyways, he told us if he only eats a little bit, only give him half a dose of insulin. If he eats a lot, give him a full dose. If he doesn't eat anything, skip it. We don't want to crash him. So it looks like we are going to end up with a cat that's might have to live with an insulin level of around 300, 340. Because he acts normal when the level's like that. He uses a litter box and stuff, but when the levels, if we give him the insulin, when he, oh, there's that otter thing again. Hope I'm getting him. There he is. Apparently he lives around here. That's Angel at the door wanting in. This dude, usually he's in the water. You really don't see him like this. Well, thanks for showing yourself, little guy. But anyways, might have to live with it because with his insulin managed, wow, he made it way down there already. That's crazy. With the insulin level around 340, he's been using the litter box and stuff, but when it dropped too low, he would start peeing and pooping where he was sleeping again. And then he acted constipated, and we really think he was because we gave him the new food that we bought, the dry food for diabetic cats. Well, he chowed it, ate it for a couple of days, and then he started acting lethargic and stuff. And we noticed when he poops in the box, guys, you know it, because it's like a child pooped in the box. And we haven't seen anything in the box that size in the last couple of days. So we ended up giving him some Miralax like we had to do for Shelby. So we'll see if that helps. There's something moving up there. You guys probably saw it on the camera. I saw it twice. And it's funny. I don't see it now. It's funny how death will bring somebody together. The son of the guy that used to own this cabin called me last night. Todd, I believe, has owned that place for 14 years, so it's been that long. I did talk to this guy a little bit after they sold the place, but not very much. Then just kind of didn't talk anymore. And then he called me last night because of Todd calling him, which is Todd is Art's son. And we talked for a little bit, so that was cool. But we had some differences a few years ago, political differences, you could say, and didn't talk for a number of years. But having a death of someone really close to you both will make you forget about that kind of crap. And it's funny because Art and I were complete opposites as far as political. He was big time NRA supporter, which I am too, but he was more right-wing crazy than just Republican. So, but we never talked about politics, so we got along fine. That's just what you got to do these days, I guess. It's gorgeous out here, the birds. How can you not love that, right? I'm gonna have to get Angel. I might have to take her way over there if I want to get her exercise. That is so weird that she found her way home. Oh, now she's coming back. Let me try the other door. I guarantee you that's what she's gonna do. Maybe, let's see. Or is she looking for me? Nope, you see that? She looked at me. He's like, F you, I want in my house. Poor thing. She's been good in the house for her. She's laying on our lap. She'll sit on the floor, lay there for a little while, and then she decides she wants on your lap. She will let you know, just like she let us know just now she wanted to go in. But that's her spot. Her cable is there where she used to go out all the time. Art was letting her out, and she'd go straight to the river. Well, he wasn't doing a good job of keeping her water up. That's one of the reasons I kept so close to Art, was because of his dog. He was neglecting the water dish, and she would come out here and go to the river. Well, after having what happened to my dog with the river, I finally figured out why she was going to the river. He couldn't figure it out. It's because her water dish in the house was skanky. So I would go over there every 2 days to make sure her water was good. So that's how we ended up getting so close, because he was not giving her fresh water. And we spent more time together, and then he got to the point of he didn't want to drive in the snow, and he would not admit it that he was afraid to drive on ice and snow. He would just call me and say, do you need to go to town today? And that was his way of asking if I would drive him to town. So he was a very stubborn man. In fact, when the paramedics were here Friday night, they asked him while he was on the floor in the middle of his stroke, do you know your last name? Yeah. He got out the word yeah, and they're like, well, what is it? He couldn't answer the guy. I'm like, really? You're that stubborn? You're going to say, yeah, you know your last name, but not be able to say it knowing you can't get it out? That's just the level of stubborn. It was beyond normal. Oh, let's see what she does. Come on. I'm trying to get her to learn hand signals, because he never did. He would just pick her up when she couldn't figure out where to go. So I got to get her an appointment to go to polls too. She has not been seen since 2012 at polls, so that's not good. But we got to get some weight off her. She's definitely way too fat. You coming back this way? Nope. I'm gonna go try the other door again. But that's an update on things, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. But we certainly are hoping to work out something to get the house torn down and be able to get the property for pretty cheap. This kid really doesn't need the money. He's doing quite well for himself. So we're hoping he'll be generous and feel sorry for us poor people, because we do not want it to fall into the hands of the a-hole up there. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what it would be like. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope to get back into more happy videos soon. Because remember, the first time the rocks were ever thrown, as best my memory, because my video doesn't say what date it was actually recorded. I don't have the original. Around March 25th was the first time I ever had rocks thrown. So, you never know. I call March, between the end of March and the end of October, rock throwing season. So we'll see. Thanks again for watching. Gotta go get me a little puppy dog.